All right, so first thing we're going to do, learn that athletic position. So to do that, we're going to find our hamstrings and show our chest to the wall first. So get them to understand. So what would help would be teaching them how to hinge first, correct?
Correct.
All right, so find our hamstrings, show our chest to the wall. That's our athletic position. Now, to find out where our feet should be, we can do 3 jumps from here. Jump, jump, jump. Wherever our feet land, that's about where our athletic position should be. Okay? So when we do that, we're not going to worry about what their landing looks like. Obviously, they're relatively safe here. It's not going to be that bad. Now, to find out how to decelerate and learn how to get into that position, all we're going to do, get tall on our toes, pull down into it to learn how to land. So we learn how to transition from being on our toes to our whole foot, and then distributing that weight back rather than coming down this way. So here, pull back into it. Here, pull back into it. And that can be as slow as fast or as fast as you want. So the progression would be nice and slow and smooth, learn how to feel it, get there. Good. Then we can work into lift down. We can stay on our toes, just pull our whole foot. Then we work up to pulling down, our feet actually leave the ground, and then we stop ourselves over. And hold it. Down, stomp, hold it. Make sure, then we would have to check the position, right? So if we find our hamstrings, are we balancing our feet, are we showing our chest to the wall, right? So from there, then we just learn how to do simple landing drills based on the height of a box, whatever we have. So we got right here, we have a 12-inch box, so we're just going to use that. So all we're going to do, now the key is, we're not going to jump off the box. We're just going to step, and we'll alternate which foot we step with. So we already have a baseball, right? We understand athletic position, we understand how to start to decelerate ourselves. Now we're going to add a little more intensity to it. Step off, pull into that position. Step off the other foot, pull into that position, find our balance. So and the key here is making them sit and hold for a few seconds. Because if you just jump right out of it, a lot of times what you'll see, kids don't have it and they don't necessarily have the balance and then they just start moving on. Right? So, step, stick and hold. So as you step, arms up, pull them down, stick and hold for a second. Try that.
What are we calling this? A box drop?
This would be altitude drop.
Altitude
Low
drop.
altitude drop. Good.
What's the difference between this and a depth drop?
Do the same thing.
Okay.
Depth drop, altitude drop,
Okay.
and the depth drop jump. Good, so that was good. You found a good position, you found your balance, but both hands up as you step. Pull into it. So you can even do the step to get them ready for this on the ground. So it could be there. Yep. Good. High carumba.
Yours is so loud.
Good. Step off. Wonderful. I don't know if you know this, but you should play sports or something.
You really miss a chance.
And what we can do is progressively raise the box if we need to, right? But this is a really good, simple way to teach kids or people to learn how to land, control their force, and then be in a position to be able to redirect it. Okay? So, very simple landing techniques. Then, from there, we have everything we need to learn how to jump. So it's just like going off the ski jump. They don't send you off the fucking ramp on day one. They teach you how to land first. Same concept. But now, once we have that base built, we can learn how to jump. And it's the same process. Everything we did here to get to here, now, we just come back up. So it's here, grip back, grip up, land. So when we do box jumps though, if we have people jump, especially kids, we're never gonna let them step backward off the box. It's always forward or lateral. Because if they step backwards, they don't get set, they don't have the balance, they didn't really complete the movement. So we land, we step to the side, we step this way, or we step forward. Make sense?
Yeah, that's good.
So that way we know that they have the balance.
Just jump off the box.
So what we gotta think of is, are a cue that gets this moving together. Because no matter what we do, our hands and our hips always move together in one fashion or another. So, hands up, hips up. Hands back, hips back. Hands up, hips up. So it teaches them to move in unison here, but also by pulling our hands down, we get stronger stretch, harder contraction, more force. So we're here, hands up, hips up, rip down, rip up, land.
That hang time though.
It's like photos and signs.
From the ground.
So let's try that. Hands up, hips up, rip down, rip up, land soft. Good. Hey! Oh, yeah. Good. Good. So try to get long. So the key, and whenever we do box jumps, we're never going to do something where someone has to rip their knees way up. Because first of all, it starts to become unsafe. Second of all, we're not really displaying power anymore. We're just fucking seeing how good our dynamic hip ability is, right? So try to land up here with straighter legs. They're going to be bent some, but we're not going to have people in box jumps where they have to rip their fucking knees to their chest.
Right, like if it's really freaking high.
Yeah, which is a cool, fun party trick, but doesn't necessarily do anything right there. Good.
So that was my question. Whenever I watch myself do a box jump, I never try to get like kind of full extension.
Right.
Because if I was gonna do it regularly for myself, I would.
Right. So did you just have a full trigger?
Get
Full
full
trigger.
extension.
So once we feel you got good landing technique, we learn how to jump using the box. Because what does this do for us? Limits the amount of deceleration that we have to come back to the ground. So once we're there, we learn how to decelerate going onto the box. We can do vertical jumps. There's going to be a lot more force coming all the way back down to the ground. So then we can do vertical jumps, but if they've already learned how to do this, now it's just the same stimulus under a more intense circumstance. Here, we're up, rip back into that athletic position. Same thing. Right? So, but the key is drilling, being able to get to here, being able to do it off the box, and being able to jump and decelerate, not have to deal with that much deceleration. Once we can do all of those things, then we jump horizontal. Because it takes way more force to decelerate yourself going this way than it does straight up and down. So then, once we master all that stuff, we can learn how to throw our hips and decelerate ourselves the same way. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
And then once we do that, we can start to master all the other stuff. Now, does it look different in our programs right now because we're with Gen Pop adults and all that kind of stuff, that they don't necessarily follow this progression? Right, it doesn't look that way. But when we're trying to build a foundation for a youth athlete, especially a female, they need to master this shit before they start to do a lot of other stuff. And then once they can master this, then we work on the lateral drills and that kind of stuff. And until then, we keep the lateral drills lower impact, being able to just push and move. So,
And that's more with the ladder drills, or you say lateral drills like that, though.
Right.
Even if there was a ladder, let's say,
Sure.
we're not working to like, oh, let's try to make the feet faster. No, that's not the case. It's more to get the movement patterns down, understand
So understanding how to decelerate my body and send it back in the other direction. So a lot of that's being able to work on dynamic stability first. There's going to be some control here, and forces don't dissipate too far in the way. So the drill with that is we start with foot punches. So here, we learn how to get our foot outside the box to change direction. And then once we do that, we learn how to punch and shuffle. Punch and shuffle. And then once we do that, we can start to do things more dynamically. Word? Questions?
Arms up, hips up is good. Because there's going to have to be some cadence
Because
with the kids.
Find that extension.
like that, or jumping up as they're pulling their hands down.
Like this.
When do we progress to?
Just open.
When do we progress to
Single leg stuff?
single leg stuff?
I mean, they can master this. When you feel confident with them, and all
That's
the while
the
we're doing
basics.
this, we're building stability by doing stuff on single legs, making them strong in there. seeing how they control their body, and then once we can do that under those circumstances, and they can demonstrate, then we can start putting more single leg dynamic stuff in. Word?
So our Gen Pop people, we started with either seated jump or seated dumbbell jump. What are your thoughts on that versus working top down like we did right here?
I mean, I don't think it's a big of a deal because they don't have to learn to control force in chaotic environments as much. For this, we're teaching them how to use their body and put them in a position when someone over here, we have to go this way. So they need to understand that.
Train for sport versus just expressing
Right.
power.
But that doesn't mean that if we see something with a Gen Pop line, we shouldn't intervene and give them stuff like this, like to teach them to understand, like, this is how our hands and our hips move together, this is how we should land and accelerate ourselves, all those kind of things. It's just, we don't necessarily have to follow the same continuum as we would if we're taking a 10-year-old girl and teaching her to move the way that she needs to move.
Right. I like the context of starting here to here as far as a landing goes, where that doesn't give you that. So we'll get a lot of people that will extend really well off the bench,
Right.
and then they stilt when they land.
And that's where,
Because they don't have that fast breakdown,
and that's
basically.
where when you see it, teach them to do it.
So then maybe I can just say, all right, we got that part now. Let's work top to bottom then, and then
Teach
put them
them.
together.
Yep.
Okay,
100%.
cool.
Word?
Word.
Cool. All right.